We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
There's a reason why I talk about blockchain, cryptocurrency, Metaverse, NFTs, the whole technological massive shift taking place now.
You just know how to hide.
It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than all of us. It's beyond us.
Me?
And
I don't have that part.
if not
The bad guy.
for the details, people will be more interested. It's kind of complicated. It's a lot of new terminology with repetitious getting familiar with by studying maybe. Who still reads? A cultural shift happening that's just fascinating if you're a human, because there's a turning point that's going to change our lives forever in how we interact with everybody around us, and the opportunity to actually fix everything we don't like. The majority, the common people in the world, not a part of the 1%, not a part of a bureaucracy of some kind of autocracy and political status we become obsequious to because illusion of some kind of procedure that's supposed to favor us by giving us an option, the lesser of two evils most of the time. This technology gives us a chance to put ourselves on the same kind of platform politicians have.
He was still friends with a guy who worked at Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. So he continued to sort of cultivate these people. Some of them he actually had real friendships with.
The FBI continued to gather more names. And when agents Carroll and Shavs sat down at FBI headquarters to compare notes, they realized there was more corruption out there than they had suspected.
CEOs of million, billion-dollar businesses have. Because what's happening is real estate in the physical world now exists virtually in the digital world on the blockchain. Due to the relation being integrated between physical and virtual, it's becoming one. Now, virtual power that one can have by doing business on the blockchain, building applications on the blockchain. We can do all those things utilizing this new technology, a currency and dApps, oracles, and smart contracts, which is all virtual versions of what we have in this world, but more efficient. They say code is law on the blockchain. So if you program something like a smart contract,
we realized that they had a large network of insiders and other funds that were willing to engage with them.
How large?
Significant.
We're talking 10 funds, 20 funds?
It was a lot of funds. It was a lot of funds.
What did you say amongst yourselves? What did you think you were onto here?
We likened it to the first Jaws movie, that we're going to need a bigger boat.
This was a bigger shark than you bargained for.
It sure was.
I do this a lot. I try to explain the definition of what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it, because generally this show is not for crypto enthusiasts or those already familiar with blockchain, but it can be dropping some kind of insight that I think is valuable. But a lot of people, I think, missing out on this exciting moment to witness it and be aware of what's going on and how things are changing in such a massive way is amazing in itself. It's like looking at the solar system. You are alive right now. It's amazing. Having the ability to participate in a shift that enables us to have more of an interaction with the world, because some people say, hey, why do I want to go into a digital metaverse kind of world?
And that it is based on what I like to call the 4 C's.
I'd have to build a new world. There's already this one I'm living in. It's fine. I would say the virtual space is an extension of who we are here. If you send an email to anybody, ever, if you sign a document online, ever, you're already participating.
Sure was.
If you've ever seen a television, you're already participating. Anything that takes your consciousness to the awareness of what's going on around us, you're already participating. The virtual world, the internet, is an extension of who we are, and it gives us back to ourselves. So if somebody says that's a bad space, or maybe you have bad thoughts and you don't like them, essentially you need to fix yourself.
It must be clear, correct, concise, and complete. 4 C's plus A for appropriate and style.
As you know, I'm co-founder of the first African-owned and viable cryptocurrency and blockchain. I hope that people see what we're doing. It's not only about a group or race of people. Statistically,
I mean, so you can point your...
taking the people
I say that's...
who have been underserved due to historical defects that have trickled down through years, that have set us back by the consequences of those actions, fixing it, allowing us to be inclusive in a macroeconomic decision-making so we can assist bringing together of everyone. If I'm hurt, there's only so much I can do to help you if you need help. But if we're all healthy together, then we can fight the real enemy. See, I love America. I love the world. But sometimes the people in charge,
I say that's the bad guy.
they can do a lot better. Blockchain technology allows decentralized commerce.
Good.
Meaning, everything we do now, insofar as business and fun, we can do that without being supervised. So if you think something is unfair, and I'm not saying this isn't political, this isn't financial advice, this isn't any of that, I'm merely stating the most common complaints and common thoughts that the common man has. The world is run by the uncommon few that rule over the common, such a stratification of groups of people with a distance between that we can't even relate to certain kinds of people. That's why process over people and institutions don't understand the relevance of our lives and what we need now. There's homeless people running around the streets of Los Angeles right now, throwing up on themselves and shitting on the concrete. A decent homeless shelter, they say. Billions of dollars have gone into the city to fix homelessness. Ha! You can't tell. We've been lied to somewhere. I'm willing to entertain this. I think the government can be good.
That's the bad guy.
Because we need supervision. Humans need order, structure. But sometimes certain things in an infrastructure don't get distributed correctly, so they don't reach the maximum effect for that kind of policy. For example,
That's the bad guy.
you have so many people that still have not got their income tax check. I'm one of them, I can relate. So online you can go and there's communities of people complaining about, where's my income tax check?
It's been a
And
year.
then you come to find out they didn't have the infrastructure to administer that much money to that amount of people at one time. So it's spread out like a amortization of some sort. Think about it like this. If the country is in debt, there's mismanagement happening on major levels of political office that is untrustworthy to put faith in, to dictate the destiny of our lives on a day-to-day basis, especially when you hear about the extortion and the money and major tax cuts that major corporations get easily. When it comes to the common man, nothing easy happens. Easy can be subjective, but again, I'm going by the general consensus. We don't live like the people making the laws for us. We live according to the rules that they set for us as a standard to live by. When we want to change something, we have to go through a strenuous process to even maybe make it happen. Who gets the final say at the end of the
The
day?
bad guy.
See, people want to break down politics and they want to say, oh,
Point your...
this is happening because of the Democrats. Oh, this is happening because of the Republicans. No. People are people and they're going to do what they do. Greed is the most political thing I've ever seen in my life. If that wasn't true, why do the Republicans and Democrats in the White House integrate themselves with each other and shake hands with each other at the end of the day? We are subjected to the agreements made with that handshaking because we don't do anything about it. When those doors close in Congress, in the White House, what kind of conversations are they having that we don't know about? I'm speaking vague now because this is something I feel is coming from my heart and everybody can relate to on some level. I provide solutions. I'm no expert, but I provide solutions from my idea of how I think things should be, and that's what I'm here for, a voice. what I hear and what I'm talking about right now, most people aren't. They're afraid. It's interesting when you speak truth for what things are without the labels, without the professions, just the naked being
Let's say that's the
to the core. How you address that. How shook people get. See people. I hear you. Only talk to your spirit. Intellectually, we can dance with that, but there's certain things internally that you have to experience and process to make an awareness happen for a hope for change.